Antoine, Jonathan here, captain of Malizia Explorer, our wonderful research vessel. We're on our way to Nice to do UNOC, the United Nations Ocean Conference. We left Lorient yesterday with beautiful conditions, amazing sailing, and 12 people on board, and already plenty of other ocean visitors. The boat is 26 meters long, 65 tons, and on board we have already an ocean pack installed, which is a scientific instrument measuring water salinity, temperature and CO2 concentration, which is crucial data for the scientists. And we are super lucky to have one on board, which is Leah.
I am very happy to be part of this delivery to Nice, where we're going to exchange all of our knowledge with like-minded people that hopefully really care about the ocean at the United Nations Ocean Conference. And already on this voyage we have a few instruments that are installed on board. We have the ocean pack, and soon in a few months we're going to have the rosette and the nets that are going to be coming for our next expeditions. I care so much about the ocean because they're our best ally against climate change. They are an incredible world where there is an incredible wildlife that happens there, but also that help us live a life that is also most bearable against the rising temperature that we are creating. And so I think it's extremely important that we study them and keep them in good health for both us and all the animals that are living in there. To study our oceans, I've been on a few expeditions, one very recently that was in Antarctica for 3 months, where we studied how the Southern Ocean is changing with climate change, and we managed to make amazing encounters with wildlife over there. One night we were sampling, and at around 2 in the morning, 2 gigantic beautiful whales, they came around the boat and they circled the boat for about an hour. They were making sounds and blowing air, and it was really incredible. It's one of my most memorable experiences, and it makes us realize that we're just really tiny humans around this big blue planet, and that we really need to protect it instead of destroying it.
I'm Callum, half Scottish, half French. I've been working on this boat for about 2.5 months now. Really cool project. I've been part of the refit and now we're sailing on it. I'm the second on the boat, assisting Jonathan in all kinds of maneuvers and yeah, you name it, whether it be sailing, electrics, hydraulics. So we've been fixing this boat, ready to go. And it's our first major trip now, taking it down to Nice. Yeah, everything's going smoothly. I'm here, there, everywhere. Whatever needs to be fixed, I'm on it. And yeah, this is really cool. Growing up, I've always been a keen mechanic. I just love fixing things, understanding how they function, and I've always had a love for the sea. I've always been in it or on it. After that, in studies, I went to be a mechanical and marine engineer, so I learned a lot about mechanics and systems, and sailing was a big part of my learning curve, which I really wanted to progress in, and just love for the ocean all kind of came together, which just really makes sense for me. This project means a lot. I love the idea of protection of the ocean, the direction this is going in, the team, everything's just so smooth. Really happy to be here and hope it goes far.
Well, I was born in Costa Rica, and I grew up with my parents on sailing boats around the world. Having spent only 4 years of my life on land in an apartment and the rest of the time on a boat around the world, I have a very strong bond with the ocean. Through this bond, it is why I also became a commercial diver, and being able to be on a research vessel of this size with such amazing projects of preserving the ocean, positive people, and sailing is just an amazing opportunity for me, and which is very meaningful for my sense of life. The middle of the night, such as this midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, is my favorite part of the day, especially sailing downwind with the Nortada of the coast of Portugal is amazing because we have the stars with us, and wherever you are, they are always magnificent. And they remind me when we were sailing with my parents when I was younger around the world, and how we would use these celestial bodies to help us navigate with minimal instruments at that time, and just great memories, great sailing experience, good times.
my name is Corentin, but everybody calls me Coco. I joined Team Malizia 3 years ago at the beginning of the ocean race as a mechanic and hydraulic engineer. I've been sailing with my dad and crossing the Atlantic with him and sailing on different oceans with my dad. And feeling the breeze on my face, seeing the dolphin jumping, watching the sunset every evening reminds me why I love to be on the ocean.
So the Ocean Pack is really a great tool for a scientist because it measures all along the track of the ship 4 very important ocean parameters, and all together they allow us to better understand the health of our oceans and also how big is the role of the ocean in the climate system. So the Ocean Pack measures the CO2 concentration in the ocean, which is really important for us to understand because climate change is driven by the CO2 emissions that we emit in the atmosphere, and then the ocean can measure right at the surface between the ocean and the atmosphere what the ocean captures. And so it measures the role of the ocean in mitigating climate change. The other parameters that we also measure are salinity, temperature, and we have a new addition this year, it's the chlorophyll, and all together they allow us to better understand the carbon cycle, the health of our ocean, and also now the biology that is happening right at the surface. It's very important for us scientists to have the 4 parameters because they're all interconnected. So to understand how CO2 changes in the ocean, we need to understand a little bit more the physics of the ocean, so that's temperature and salinity, and also the biology through the chlorophyll A. And one of these examples is when temperature are rising, we can see it through the temperature variable measured by the Ocean Pack. And in certain regions, it means that CO2 cannot dissolve as well in the ocean. So we're going to have a higher temperature and a higher CO2. And another example to measure the health of our ocean, that we have the chlorophyll A, that is an indicator for phytoplankton and biology. When the phytoplankton develops and blooms, it's going to capture CO2, and so we're going to have low CO2 values. So this instrument is also present on the racing sailboat on Malizia Explorer, and I'm also processing all of this data, and we found also incredible stuff during the ocean race that was a few years ago, where we observed in remote places phenomena that we couldn't observe before. And one example is in the North Atlantic. We measured the impact of a storm on the CO2 levels. We see that storms can generate mixing, and then it's bringing back CO2 that was a little bit deeper in the water column to the surface and creates outgassing of CO2 to the atmosphere.
At sea, you've always got to keep an eye on your surroundings. Right now we've got 2 fishing boats up ahead, so just really important to keep a close eye and see what's going on.
King's Galets. My name is Axel. I'm the cook on board. I'm also in charge of the maintenance, so I prepare the boat, cabins. I buy a lot of food to feed our crew during the trip. This is my first long trip on the boat, but I'm so happy to be here, and we are really lucky because we saw dolphins every day. We have a beautiful view and the sun, and life is really good here.